Hey, what's up, card fighters? BOTCG here, back after a couple weeks hiatus. Just a little bit too many things happening behind the scenes in the personal life, so unfortunately we did had to take a break. Was just feeling a little bit overloaded, but I am back, and not with the deck profile you wanted, unfortunately. The deck profile that you deserve, you LISCIAFAEL players. You budget. Yeah, this is actually a fairly budget list, I'd say. Like, all these cards are mad cheap. Except like maybe like 2-3 staple cards max. The rest of I would say the rest of this deck, like outside of like effect triggers, is fairly cheap. But yeah, like this is one of my favorite decks, man. This is like it's like since D series started, I built this and I was like, man, like I just really like this over like the other girl, which I never even gave her a fair chance, to be honest, because I just like this so much. But yeah, LISCIAFAEL stands aside. Yeah, let's just get into the deck profile. We are running the OG complete LISCIAFAEL ride line. That's because I only have access to D cards. There's only 2 cards in here that aren't from well, DZ cards. I only have access to DZ lyrical cards. There's only 2 cards in here that aren't from lyrical DZ, but that's because a buddy of mine, shout out to Ed the Crimson, he traded them to me. So that's the only reason that those are in here. And those 2 cards is like a flex spot that can technically be whatever you want it to be. But yeah, let's get into the deck profile. First off, we are playing 3 copies of Persona Ride. This deck does really want you to Persona Ride as much as, like, often, like, you do want to Persona Ride on turn 4, ideally, because by turn 4, that's usually when you're going for your Divine Skill, unless you went second and you're put in a position where you have to do Divine Skill on your going second turn, just because, like, the amount of pressure your opponent put on you going first. But usually you do want to go first with this list, and you want to hold that Divine Skill for your first Persona Ride, which is on turn 4. 4 copies of this girl. She draws a card. She pumps up your Vanguard. That's pretty much the only reason why we're playing her. LISCIAFAEL actually surprisingly has quite a few support cards, but like the rare and most of the rare and common ones are pretty bad. They're not really that useful, at least in this like current DZ metagame, with just like how punchy it feels. Like it's a very punchy format in my opinion. That's partly due to Basagara, but yeah, just 4 cards of her. She's part of your draw power of the deck, and she also pumps up the Vanguard when she is eaten by your Vanguard's EB2 ability. Oh no, EB3 ability, my apologies. And then these are the only orders that this is the only order that we can realistically play in the deck. We're playing 4 copies of Call and Response. You might not know what this card is because it was very hard to look just from DZ cards a way to look at cards from the deck to Superior Call. Like, this deck can draw a bunch, but blind drawing doesn't guarantee you to like get your pieces, which that's the problem this deck has, is that it has like a lot of blind draw, but it doesn't have any consistency getting its pieces from deck. It has consistency getting them from soul once you've already eaten them, but it has no consistency whatsoever, like hard drawing into your pieces. So this is like this is a tech that I tried to play to alleviate that, which I really like in this deck. Basically, Call and Response is free. You just have to rest the rear guard, which what I usually do is I'll call one of my grade 1s behind the Vanguard, because for your Vanguard's ability to work, you have to not boost with it. So rest it, one of the grade 1s behind the Vanguard. That's the cost to play this card, rest the rear guard. And then you look at the top 3, Superior Call 1, and then put the rest on the bottom in any order. The bottom sucks because you don't really shuffle in this deck, but unfortunately, this is the only way in DZ that I can pull cards from deck to field or pull cards from deck to my hand that are part of my main engine and are part of my game plan. So that's the reason why we're playing Call and Response. Again, this is budget player's paradise, outside of this one card probably. I don't know how much it is. Last time I checked, this was like $12. I don't know if this went up or this went down, but we are playing Fire Regalis for the same reason that we're playing Call and Response. This is just to add added consistency into seeing our key pieces, which is our grade 3 drawer, our grade 1s, our restander grade 2. We have no way of like getting this out consistently. So it's really important that we do see her. And if we're against a matchup that can remove her from board, it's important that we see multiple copies of her. So that is my reasoning for playing like this little 5-card package of cards. If you don't feel comfortable playing this, you want to play something else, you have access to other cards outside of DZ. There's this other grade 2. It was part of the chain of the grade 2 order girls. I believe her name is Strega. Her ability is if you play the normal order, and this is called not by a unit card's effect, you can top 5 to superior call 1 from deck. Soul Blast 1, top 5, superior call 1 from deck, and then shuffle your deck. Which I would play that if I had it, but unfortunately that's like a $30 a piece card right now, and I'm not willing to buy. I'm not willing to buy it, baby. So yeah, budget player's paradise. Going into our grade 2s. We're playing 4 copies of the Restander. Outside of this is the only way you're multi-attacking outside of your divine skill, which you can only do once a game. So outside of that, this is the only way that you're going to be getting that 4 attack threshold, 5 attack threshold on your divine turn. So it's really important that you do have this at 4 copies. And then this is a card that I think no LISCIAFAEL player even asked for. Like honestly, instead of this card, I would have rather to have an in-archetype way to search for my Restander, search for my LISCIAFAEL archetype cards from deck. Like nobody asked for this card, but like I guess this is like added, like this kind of pseudo gives you a win con with your Vanguard's ability. But we're playing 4 copies of White Cat. What White Cat does is when she's sucked up into Soul by your Vanguard's skill, you can counterblast 1, draw a card, and then you give your Vanguard the red text that when your opponent would guard with cards from hand, they have to guard with 2 or more at the same time. So this kind of like gives you like a way around perfect guards. Doesn't get around blitz orders whatsoever, which they have made cards that do get around blitz orders. So like it's kind of weird that they didn't put that on this card. And it counterblasts, which this deck is already really counterblast heavy as it is. Like it did come with its own countercharger with wave 1 of support, but like you have like 3 different cards. No, excuse me, 4 different cards that you all play at 4 that counterblast for their cost, which is like really weird. But yeah, you kind of do have to play her. It's kind of like the pseudo win con of the deck. It does dig you deeper, so like it kind of helps you search for your pieces after the fact, but that's after the fact, baby. So I don't know what else to say. But getting on to our grade 1s. This is the countercharger, which also lets you draw a card. There's a lot of like because you have to eat all your cards, a lot of your cards are like 1-for-1s, where like after you play them and your Vanguard eats them, they convert into cards into hand. So like a lot of your cards are 1-for-1s, but for this girl, she countercharges. She's a 13k booster. You have to play it. You counterblast so much in this deck. And then 4 copies of Clever Hearts. This is the way that we can kind of like pseudo toolbox our soul. Clever Hearts on play skill is counterblast 1. Choose a grade 2 or less normal unit that's non-sentinel from your soul, add it to hand, and then you may soul charge 1. And then she's an 18k booster for Soul Blast 2, which it seems high, but you don't really care about that Soul Blast 2 cost. This deck like soul charges a lot, and more often than not, you have more soul than you know what to do with. And then this is the only card that's non-DZ in this deck that I traded for. Again, shout out to my buddy for trading it for me. But this can be anything. This is just like, this is what's worked out the best for me, is you play 2 copies of the Jeweled Cat. This Jeweled Cat lets you add Persona Ride from your drop zone or soul into your hand, which is useful because you do want to Persona Ride, but in playtesting, that's hardly ever come up in my personal experience. More often than not, I'm just using this as a 20k shield in hand, but that is the reason why we are playing it in the deck. And then 3 DPGs, 1 Blitz PG. This can be the other Elementaria. It's really up to you. My other Elementarias are in my other deck right now, and I just didn't want to switch it out because I was lazy. So that's the reason why I'm subbing in this one. But strides aren't as prevalent as they used to be. They're still there, but they weren't as like, oh my gosh, they're everywhere like last set was. So yeah, kind of, sort of. But yeah, you still do want to be playing at least 1 Elementaria because it does get around guard restrict effects, which Basagra does play. One of the one of the lyrical overtrigger. I treat this like the Dark States overtrigger. Like, it's just really nice to check early, or like it's really nice whenever you check it because it's a permanent skill you get for the rest of the game, especially in a best of one format, which currently all my locals are best of one. So it's really good. It feels really nice that you just check this and then you have that skill for the rest of the game because it's a skill given to the player. 3 effect draws, because again, you need to draw into your pieces. You need hard draw into your pieces, unfortunately. 4 effect crits. Hasn't really come up, so this can be vanilla crits if you really want to. I was fortunate enough to trade for 3 of them, and then shout out to my buddy David. I believe he gave, I don't remember if he traded for this or not. I think he just handed it to me. But yeah, like I was able to be fortunate enough to, like, I traded for these. Like, I didn't have to buy them. But which I was contemplating buying them because that was the only thing I was missing for my DZ lyrical decks, but they were like really expensive at the time that I was contemplating buying them. But I digress. 4 vanilla crits, nothing much to say there, and then 4 vanilla heals. I don't have access to the effect heals for lyrical. I don't think I'd play them anyway. I just don't think they're good. Like, I feel like they're only good in like a tier 0 meta, which we're almost there. I don't think we're quite there yet. Especially like if you're playing more in a local setting, you're not going to be facing up against Basagra every round for the crit one to come up or the restand one to come up, because it comes up for both cases of scenarios for that deck. But it's really up to you. But yeah, guys, the deck profile that nobody asked for, my LISCIAFAEL deck profile, I was really happy with how it turned out. Unfortunately, it is prone to like just like bad draws. Like, you can just draw badly because unfortunately most of what you're doing is just blind drawing from your deck and hoping it works out. Which is just like, it sounds really bad when you say it that way. I'm like, well, what are you complaining about, bro? Like, the deck draws a lot. Yeah, the deck draws a lot, but freaking, like, that's kind of like all it does. It has no consistency whatsoever in what it's drawing into, which is way more important, in my personal opinion. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, guys. I am back, and I'm going to be doing more deck profiles like this, because I love covering my niche favorite decks, and I'm sure you do too. So, yeah, later.